All right, so we'll just start on the assignment. Remember, if your last name is A through L, you test on Tuesday. So if it starts with an A, you test on Tuesday. If it starts with a G, you test on Tuesday. If it starts with an L, you test on Tuesday. All the way A through L. Last name, test on Tuesday. If not, you test on Wednesday. All right. Now, on number 1, 2, 3, and 4, these are domain and range questions. And we'll start on number 3. So if they give you a function and they ask you for the domain, and they don't give you a picture, I mean, you can 99% sure that you need to be picking B. All right. On number 1, you need the range. That domain would also be all real numbers, but you'll graph it and just find the vertex. So you'll graph it, and remember the vertex is the middle, right here, right? And you see how it's -5, and you know the range is X. So you get rid of A and B. Man, it's pointing upward. Uh, so you'd want to pick greater than. All right, now an easy way to remember greater than, by the way, is remembering less than. If you hold your hand up and make an L, right, that's less than, right? For left, right, less than, right? And if you kind of tilt it to the side, it gives you the less than sign, all right? So that less than sign would be this one, but we want the one that's greater than because this thing from the vertex is going up, all right? So your answer would be D, all right? You do number 2 the same way, but they ask you for the domain. And we know it's all real numbers because they just gave you a function, so we can mark these off. And G of X is just a nice way of saying Y, right? And the range has to be what letter? Y. So you can mark off that one. Now on number 4, they ask you for the range. So you want this G of X, right? Now you want to pick the lowest number, right? Always, right? From bottom to top, lowest number. So here it's -14. So we want the ones that have -14. And obviously it's not every single number because the table would go on forever and ever and ever. So you don't want all row numbers. All right, domain here, right? Left to right. Here domain arrows on both sides, so you know what to pick. All right, all real numbers. Vertex is here in the middle. On 8, remember if they give you a function, you need to graph it, and they're asking for the zeros, so just find out where they cross, right here on the x-axis. All right. Number 9 is easy, just look across. All right. 10 and 11 is just a combination of the previous 4, so I won't go over that. The only thing I'll tell you is the axis of symmetry is right down the middle. Just draw a line. It's also your vertex, all right? It's also your vertex. It's the first number, right? Now, you're looking for the solutions. Whenever they ask you for solutions and they give you a quadratic, you want to go to the calculator and graph it. So you'll look for the zeros. These are the solutions, and you want the positive one, so you bubble in 6. All right, that's how you do that one. On number 3, they're going to ask you when it hits the ground. Graph it, change the t's to x's, and you're just looking for the 0, the positive one, just like number 14. All right, same type of problem is just written as a word problem. All right, and then make sure when you're graphing these ends better become x's. If not, you won't be able to see anything. All right, on 16, I need you to plot 2 points, 0, 10. Label it, right? And then if you can't see it, zoom out. And then you want to plot 130. Then zoom out a bit, right? And then you want to graph one of these equations and see which one goes through those 2 points, all right? And this one is best models, so it might not go exactly through all the points, all right? On this one, just to play it safe, I would type in all the points, all right? And just see which one goes which one's the closest. On this one, I think it might go through all the points, but I think it gets close to getting through all the points. So sometimes it won't happen as much, but usually you're just graphing and matching, right? So see that it makes the points right, label them right, and then 442, and we'll just do this one. It looks like that, right? Label it. So you'll type one of these in. So let's type in the first one, negative 40, not 49, 4.9. Minus 25x plus 10. And it's not that one, right? So let's pick D. Let's pick plus 25. And that one looks like it kind of goes through it, right? That one's kind of close. Did I type in that points right? No, that should be up to 32. And you see how it goes through all the points. So that would be your answer, all right? So always type in your points and see which one goes through it, right? Same thing for this one, all right? And then here, you're just gonna tell me what the transformation. It goes from here, you'll graph this one, and then you'll graph this one, and you're gonna tell me what happened, all right? Here's your 4 choices, really wordy, but you kind of eyeball it. You see how it says +5, that means it's gonna go up 5 units. And since it's negative, it's going to reflect, all right? But you can graph and see what happened, all right? Make sure you graph both of these, because then you won't, if you don't graph the first one, you won't be able to see the second one on these, all right? And just graph it and tell me what happens, all right? Same thing here, graph your parent function, graph this one, and then just tell me what happened. All right, we did these yesterday, so I won't go over it. And then remember, 0 just means x-intercept. And then this is an exponential function. This is the range is all real numbers less than 0. Well, obviously it starts at 0, but looks like it's going up. They're all positive, right? So it can't be less than. We know the domain of exponentials is always all real numbers, not greater than -4, just all real numbers. It can't be that one. And then we can mark off D as well, because the domain is always all real numbers, right? So here the range is all real numbers greater than 0. You see how the lowest point is 0? It goes up. All right, that's it. Here, just pick 2 points and see which one it goes through. All right, goes through those 2 points. And here, they just want to know what these numbers represent. All right, so here, the 850 is your initial value, and this is how much it grows by. So it goes goes up by 2.5%. All right, and it starts at 8. The initial balance is 850. So no, we know the initial balance is not 97.5. We just said it grows by 2.5, so it's probably that one. That's not the initial balance. And then that's not true either, because that's how much you start off with, all right? And you'll do the same thing with number 28, all right, and 29. On 29, just graph it and see which one of these is true, all right? And then just graph this one and match that up, all right? So try these exponential ones out and tell me if you get those. You'll see a few of those, but I think you'll see more of the domain and range ones and ones that look like this, all right? Other than that, it's not too bad. And let me just talk about this one. I said I wasn't, but that's how much you start off with, right? So that's your initial value. And you see that they have an interest rate of 6%. That means we'll make it into a decimal, it's 0.06. And it's growing, so we'll put a 1 in front of it, right? We'll add $1 to it. So your equation would be B. Remember, if it's decreasing, you're losing money, you'll change that 6% to 0.106 and you'll subtract it by 1, all right? Let me know if you have any questions on these. I think we've gone over most of this stuff this last month, all right? Let me know if you need me to go over any of these, all right? Have a good one. Well, good morning, afternoon, or evening.